There he is. Man, it's
That's
it's
right.
good. It's so good to see you, man. After not
Oh
seeing your
yeah.
after not seeing your face for 2 years, man, I'm glad to hear you're doing good. Dude. I'm glad to see you're doing good. I'm glad to hear you're doing good. Um, it looks like you're surviving well.
Oh yes. Surviving, doing good.
So you're still in the donut business, man. You still making them delicious donuts.
Not right now. We're hoping to open up a brick and mortar shop.
Good job.
Because going out fairs and festivals, it's not fairs and festivals isn't the life for a family with young kids.
I hear you. You've come a long way, and I'm glad that I was able to be a part, maybe a small part of your success and where you are today.
No, not a small part. You were pretty much everything. If it wouldn't have been for you, I wouldn't be where I'm at today.
That's
Just being
encouraging.
honest.
Thank you. I've helped various people get on television, and 75% of them, when they get to that point, they forget. And I can say one thing about you is you've never forgotten.
Very true.
And I thank you for that. You've always reminded me of that. So thank you. That makes me feel like part of my job, not only my job, my passion is working. So thank you.
You're very welcome. And I
I mean,
love doing what I'm doing.
I see you're out there making some moves in the in your own world there, and I'm wishing you all the best. And in any way that I can assist you and help you out, man, I'm there. You know that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm just out here trying to make an impact and on people and hopefully help people out. That's my number
Um,
one goal.
and if you use that as your number one goal, you'll go far. You'll go very far. Oh
I
man,
hope so.
I think one of the things that kept us so close is, we both kind of came from the same place. I was adopted, and I'm not going to go into
Hmm.
deep. You and I have been through this road so many times on so many different episodes, about your story. I'm not here to get deep, but I just want you to know that we share a very similar upbringing. An upbringing that was, I think, almost meant to hinder us, but somehow we were able to take that hindrance. Like Biggie said, I took my life from negative to positive. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't let that stop us.
Oh yeah.
And I think with somebody with that mentality and that drive and that upbringing, the options and the opportunities are endless, because we've been so sheltered, to believe a certain way and a certain thing, but we're the ones that have awoken. We're the ones that saw there's more to than just that. You know, um, and
Yes. Yep.
you're one of them, man. You know exactly. I think you have a plan, and I think you know exactly where you're going and what you're doing. And I'm glad that I can be on that train with you, bro.
I like to look at it as the negative is what gives me motivation in a way, if that makes sense. The negative stuff that happens, like if something doesn't go right in life, I'm one of those who I look at that and it motivates me to do better. You know what I mean?
No, I do know
That's
what you
that's the
mean.
way I look at it. You know, there's a lot of people who, if something goes negative, they're just dwelling on it all day long, whatever. And yeah, I might dwell on it for a little bit, but for the most part, I focus on the positive because it's like I always tell people, there's always a positive in the negative,
Yeah,
and the positive is it's making me the person that I am today.
that's
It's
right.
making me the person I'm going to be tomorrow.
That's right.
So yeah,
You almost get to a point where you learn and you accept it, and you just move on, right?
That's right. Yeah, there's so many people who they don't learn from their past, which is unfortunate.
No, you're right.
And that's one thing that I'm very grateful that I learned how to do that. You know, at one point I wasn't able to do it either.
Yeah, me neither. You know, it takes a lot of mistakes and failures and what we were just talking about. You know, I mean, it takes a lot of that to mold you to the person that you need to become. You know, if the first time somebody told me that my show ideas were, you know, I would have just been like, I can't do that. You know, if I would have listened to everybody and just not pursued my dreams and not pursued what I wanted to be in life, it would have never happened. I would have never met you. I would have never met
Exactly.
75% of the
Exactly.
people that I'm going to have on here to talk about this kind of stuff, you know? So, like, in turn, I thank people like you for believing in me, you know? Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. And you know, I always wanted people to believe in me, but most people are, you know, were like, you're not going to get anywhere in life, right? So I took that, and it motivated me to push forward.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. See, our whole life, everything has been stacked against us not to succeed. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I would have made a heck of a baseball
100%.
player. I would have made an amazing baseball player. But I never had the proper education to get the proper credentials to be a major league baseball player. I'm 40 some years old now, and I don't think that I can
Right.
feasibly make that happen. But my point being that we have been so crippled in our mentality and our way of thinking that we don't allow ourselves to dream and to think about other things other than picking up that hammer on Monday morning and going to work, because that's what sells history, my do it, yell, right?
That's right. But
By the
if you
way,
think about it, you know, you could
tell
be a
everybody
baseball
what that
player, but
means.
you would not be impacting what means.
Sells history, my do it.
Oh, that's just how you do it.
Yeah. I mean that's why. So if you were to ask an Amish person, why do you believe the way you believe? You know what he would say? Well, sells history, my do it. You know, and that's
That's right.
that's their logic. It's what we were told to do, so now we're going to do it. And that's why in our lives and a lot of other people, you know, who have been so sheltered, for us to finally wake up and see that there is more than just that bubble that they're living in. Man, the options are endless. But see, my one of my problems is right now is I'm like, man, if only like I'm trying to always outsource. I'm always trying to say, hey, buddy, you're very good at this. Can you help me with this? But you know what? Nobody can help you get to where you want to be other than you, you know, and it took me this long to figure that
That's
out.
right.
It took me this long to figure that out.
What kind of to go with what you were saying, you know, only the strong survive is what I live off of, right? That's my motto, and it's actually right here on my arm. Oops, if I can show it here. It's only the strong survive, right? And people are like, why would you put something like that, you know, on your arm? I've gotten so much crap for putting that on my arm. They're like, oh, you know, only a weak person would put that on their arm. I'm like, no. I don't know if you know anything about that saying or the backstory to it or not, but you know, back in the day when I was totally down and out and I was at the point of suicide, actually, one of my friends kept telling me, if you want to survive, you have to stay strong. And it never made sense to me until later. And that's why I have this tattoo now.
Dude, I'm reminded of, this is going to sound like a Laurel Ingalls Wilder book, but I'm reminded of a warm summer night in New Orleans, in that one house that you guys were all staying in, and around that one campfire, we were doing a very emotional scene with you, and I think I got to hear the truest Jeremiah I've ever heard in my life, and I got to hear the stories behind all um, your reminders about where you've coming from and where you want to go. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Um, So yeah, thank you for saying that, man. That brings back some good memories. That was deep, and we're not gonna go into that, but that was
And
deep, man.
right, you would be surprised how many people have messaged me or met me in person, and they said that one scene right there literally like had them change their mindset about me, right? And actually you walked away from that scene because it hit you that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I told you this then, but when that happened, I looked at my wife and I was in my mind, right? I was screaming, please stop me, please stop me. Because I didn't want to say the stuff that was coming out. But I couldn't stop myself, right?
Yeah.
And after it happened, after it was all said and done, it was almost like the wall that I had in front of me that got torn down, right? Whenever I was saying all that stuff, it got stronger for probably a couple weeks. A minute, why is this wall back up here? So I allowed that wall to come back down, and it was a major relief once that wall came back down.
That's awesome, man. And it takes a strong person to go there, but I think once you go there, it makes it a little easier. You know what I mean? Because you can put your mind at ease a little bit because you went there, everything was okay. Take a breather. Let's try not to go back there again for a little while, but we're good now. I know where you're at. I know exactly what you're going through, man. I know what you went through at that time, but
And the weird thing is, I didn't go there. I
yeah,
didn't go
yeah,
there. Something else did.
yeah. I can tell you who went there. It was the Jeremiah of that time period that went there. It was that
True.
person at that time. It was the Jeremiah of that moment at that time that went there. And that's why you were telling him, please stop, don't go, man. But yeah,
Yep.
again, we're getting too deep, right? We don't want to get too deep.
Trust me,
But
I could go on and on.
or Alan, if you don't shut this shit down right now.
Oh my goodness.
Remember them? Those are the good ones, man.
Yeah.
Those are the good ones.
Oh man, there was a lot of those times where I told you to shut it down.
No, it was funny because we'd all be standing there, right? And we'd be doing a scene, and all of a sudden I'd hear, "Where's Alan at?" And I'd go running. I'd go hide in the production van or something because I know Jeremiah is coming and he wants this shit shut down. Oh,
That's right.
good times, though, buddy. Good times, man.
I guess that in a way you could almost say that's my wall coming back up, but in another sense, it's not.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man. So I saw that you were working at the airport, right? You don't work at the airport anymore?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
No, I quit. I
Okay.
quit, but I loved my job there. My job there was I was doing a wheelchair service for United, so I was able to do what I wanted to do. Communicate with people and
You're
help
good at
people out.
that. Yeah.
And people that needed help with the wheelchair. I mean, the stories that we got, it was
Yeah.
just awesome, amazing. People
That's
from
awesome. And
people
now
from
look
a
at,
lot
look
of
at
different countries.
look at all the people you helped and affected. You know what I mean? Look at all the people whose day you made better. Look at it that way.
Right? Yeah. As long my goal is if I can put a smile on one person's face every day, I did my
That's it.
job.
That's it. Good job. See, you're smart. You know what it takes. Just stay true to yourself, man, and
But
and you'll go far.
but it took me years and years to get to this point.
Yeah. But if you got to this point after years and years, look where you're going to be in a couple more years and years. So keep it up. A lot of
True.
people are like, man, every time I go 5 steps forward, I go 15 steps back. But who's making them steps? You are. So don't make those
That's right.
steps. Like if it's that, if you're going that, don't go that far back. It's not like somebody's like pushing you back. Nope. Well, yeah, in a certain situation, yeah, in today's society, they are kind of pushing us back. But normally, it's if you see yourself making a mistake, just stop and reset. Don't let yourself keep going back more steps.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
so what's new for you? What's gonna be happening for you?
well, then we have so much stuff in the works. I don't even know where to begin. At some point, we want to move back down to Florida.
I heard
we actually put an offer into a property there.
I heard Sabrina's living down there now.
Yeah, but we want to go back down to where we were, northern Florida.
Yeah,
and just enjoying life.
What else can you do, buddy? What else can you do? Good job, man. Same here. I got
I mean, you can sit and complain, but it's not going to do you any good.
It's not going to do you no good. No good. I think they've taken it way out of hand. Like I think it.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm not going to get. I refuse to get political because that's a subject that I do not want us to talk about. But I think that it was supposed to be one thing, and somehow it got over here. And when it got over here, it got when you were a kid, you used to play that game Whisper Down the Lane. You would tell somebody a secret,
Yep.
right? And that secret, would go down to 15, 20 people. And by the end of number 1, it wasn't even close to what you had said. Well, I'm deaf in one ear, so it always got messed up at me. But yeah, that's kind of how it is. I think that, it started off as one thing, but then it just got miscommunicated so many times that now it's become this thing, and way out of hand.
Yep.
And so somehow with either wild hornets or murder hornets or with venomous lizards, we got to somehow contain it.
Trust me, I could say so much to all that.
Let's just stop there.
Oh,
right?
Boy. I used to be an Amish.
Yeah, I think we all did.
I used to be an Amish taxi driver. Yeah. It's good money too.
I used to be, I called myself an Amish transporter. What I would do is my Amish neighbor, he was part of the Amish Money. It's as simple as that. He was part of the Amish Money. And there were days where I would go down to his shop and he would throw me a garbage, one of those giant black garbage bags, chuck it to me, and it would be filled with cash. And so one day he called me up.
Oh, wow.
He called me up and he says, dude, we got to take a run. And I'm like, oh boy. All right. So I jumped. He got me this truck. It was a white 4-door, all blacked out. And he says, we need to go pick up some Amish. So we went and picked up 4 other Amish men, all like mighty men in the Amish Money. Right. And so we went down. It was down in Quarryville. It was back 25, 30-minute ride. And thank God I understand and talk Dutch because I was hearing a little bit. And we get down to this farm. And these 4 Amish men get out. And I swear it was the most gangster mafia thing I've ever seen in my life. These 4 Amish men stroll up to the door, don't knock, don't do nothing, open the door, walk right in, and start carrying stuff out of the house. Carrying stuff out.
What?
And just carrying stuff out of the house. And finally, about 4 hours later, they come back with some money in a bag, and they leave. And I was like, dude, what's going on? He was like, the guy wasn't paying his bills. We had to show him that he has to pay his bills. They made him sell all his stuff. Like the next day there was an auction, and this guy could do nothing about it but just sit there and watch all his stuff get sold. And they took all his money. That, I mean, I don't even know if they got their money back, but it is so like gangster, you know, like that's kind of like, you don't hear that. You won't hear that.
No.
But yeah, I was the Amish transporter.
Wow. So did you also know that I'm also doing the child predator thing?
I did. I saw a couple videos of that.
Where
Good
I go
job.
out and I go out and expose them. Right now, you know, obviously with the way everything's going right now, you know, I'm not doing it, but I'll be back out there.
Good job, man. Keep it up. That's a dangerous
I'm
thing.
actually working on I'm actually working on getting a team together.
Dude, that's awesome. Good job, man. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you.
My problem is there was a point in my life where I didn't really care if my story got tainted or not. But I'm very
right.
I learned to embrace my heritage once I saw how rare it is.
Mm-hmm.
Wrap that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want people to corrupt anything that I have. You know what I mean? Like it's my story. It happened to me. There's nothing that you can say or do that can prove to me that you know anything about me or even care. You know what I mean?
That's right.
That's kind of why take it upon yourself. You know, if you want things done right, you got to do them yourself. You know, so that's kind of where I've been in my life right now. Is I've always, my family always comes first. I always take care of my family first. That's always my number one goal, priority in life. You know, and I'm doing very well in the stock market right now. Now is the time to get in the stocks. If you're not, now is the time.
I am.
I have an eBay store, right? And so all my money that I make on eBay, like it's all it's free money. I mean, it's not free money, but it's all stuff that I've collected or, you know, bought in an auction for 25 cents and sold it for 100, you know, that kind of thing. I'll take that money and I'll invest it in the stock market. And so every week I'm continually adding. I mean, you can't just put, you know, $500 in the stock market and expect it to mature in 10 years. It's not going to happen. You have to continually work at it, and you have to be smart about it. You can't just put 500 in. You know, you have to research stocks. You know, what do people need? What are people going to need in the next 10 years? You know, what's going to be great? Tesla is going to be huge in the next 10 years. But there's stocks like $800. Well, like, come on now. Like a normal person can't do that.
With this 5G rolling out, Apple's going to be taken off too.
Yeah, but I think some of the bigger ones are like your biopharmacists, like and your biochemists, your chemistry labs, because they're the ones that are getting all this money to, you know, try to figure out how they can handle if a virus to ever hit again, or so on and so forth. So, and now with like liquor stores, like around here, liquor stores are closed, you know. With the world starting to open back up, all that stuff is going to shoot back up. Yeah. So I kind of like to figure out and I have some in Bitcoin. It's almost up to 10 grand right now a share. So I'll probably actually pull some out. Because usually when it gets up to about 9,800, I pull some out because it's not going to get over. It hasn't been to 10,000 since last year, February, maybe. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's going to hit that anytime soon. So I pull it out, and then
beginning of the year it was down to
back in. I think you and I should start something where Amish, Mennonite, if you have a cell phone or access to the internet, you can be part of this panel. And it's just people talking about, you know, maybe their experiences, you know, growing up. You know, people can always say like, dude, I understand. I know where you're coming from. I've been there. No, you haven't.
But they
don't. You know, I mean, nobody been there but you.
Nope.
You know, so for somebody to say that, they can't. And so for somebody to get advice from somebody who has not been there, does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Well, that's something we'll have to think about and talk about. But man, this has been awesome. We'll have to do this more. We'll have to do this more.
Oh yeah, we definitely will.
Man, have a good day, brother.
Thanks, you too.
All right. Hey, well, let's talk soon, okay?
All right, sounds good.